Your doctor says your thyroid labs are normal, but why do you still feel awful? If you've been told everything looks normal, but you're exhausted, you're gaining weight, your hair is falling out, your joints hurt, you have brain fog, and deep down you know something isn't right, I want to tell you what happened to me, because that's exactly where I was. For years I thought I had failed. I blamed myself. What I eventually discovered wasn't just Hashimoto's, it was that normal didn't tell the whole story. Today I want to share the symptoms I ignored, the thyroid labs that finally gave my provider a more complete picture, and the biggest lessons I learned that helped me become a better advocate for my own health. Because if your labs are normal, but you don't feel normal, there must be more to the story. So let me show you how I got here. 8 years ago, I had done something I'd never thought I'd do. I lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for 8 years. I was on a very restrictive program. 1 meal a day, the rest was prepackaged. It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. I felt amazing. For the first time in years, I felt confident. I even started coaching other women because I truly believed I figured it out. Then everything changed. Perimenopause hit. The same system that had worked for almost a decade suddenly stopped working. My clothes got tighter, the scales started creeping up, and the confidence I'd worked so hard to build started slipping away. I remember standing in my closet before a date night with my husband crying because nothing fit anymore. So I did what a lot of us have been doing, and I tried GLP-1. For me, it helped reduce some of the inflammation. I lost about 12 pounds and then nothing. The weight stopped moving. On top of that, I developed severe stomach issues. And I want to be clear here, I think that GLP is amazing. Everyone else seemed to be sharing these success stories, and mine looked completely different. That's when one thought changed everything. There has to be a reason. Then when I realized I needed to stop looking for another weight loss solution and start looking for a reason, nothing was working anymore. Instead of blaming myself, I became curious. But here's what I couldn't see at the time. Looking back now, I realized my body had been trying to get my attention for years. I just didn't know that the clues belonged to the same story. I was exhausted all the time. My hair was falling out. I had brain fog. My joints hurt. I was gaining weight even though I hadn't changed what I was doing. My inflammation was high. I could feel it. I was cold more often than anyone else. I honestly thought maybe this was just aging. If any of these sound familiar, in the description of this video, you're going to find a resource guide that I have created that will help you go from blaming your body to understanding what it could be telling you all along. So make sure you click the link so you can access it. What I didn't know then was that many of the symptoms can be associated with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, an autoimmune condition where the immune system attacks the thyroid. Because the thyroid helps regulate metabolism, energy, and so many other functions in the body, it's not uncommon for women to experience symptoms that may seem completely unrelated. They can also overlap with perimenopause and other health conditions, which is one reason why so many women feel confused. I'm not saying these symptoms automatically mean you have Hashimoto's. They don't. There are many possible explanations, but what I wish I understood sooner is that all these symptoms deserve a conversation and not dismissal. Looking back, my body wasn't betraying me, it was just trying to get my attention. I just didn't know how to listen yet. Everything changed when I finally decided to dig deeper. That question led me to Modern Thyroid Clinic. For the first time, I felt someone was actually listening. They ordered a complete thyroid panel, and this is where things finally started making sense. I learned that a standard thyroid screening often looks at TSH and sometimes free T4. My provider wanted a much bigger picture. If your symptoms don't match what you're being told, these are the tests that my provider suggested: TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies like TPO and thyroid globulin. I didn't know that these were the tests that could help my provider build a more complete picture, and I was thankful that they understood thyroid issues. Finally understanding them felt like I can ask more questions. That's when my provider diagnosed me with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, but I also learned something else I'd never heard before. I was taking levothyroxine for years. That medication gives your body T4, but T4 isn't your hormone your cells actually use. Your body has to convert T4 into T3. Mine wasn't converting well, so I was taking my medication exactly as prescribed, but it wasn't working as intended. Some of my lab results appeared to be within expected range at first glance, but after reviewing my complete thyroid panel, my provider explained that my body wasn't converting T4 into T3 the way that they wanted it to. That helped explain why I was still experiencing so many symptoms. For the first time, I wasn't hearing everything looks normal. I finally had answers that actually made sense. At that point, I had a choice. I could keep blaming myself, or I could start working with my body instead of against it. Some of the biggest lessons I learned from the working with providers who understood Hashimoto's is that reducing inflammation became a major focus for my treatment plan. That doesn't look like the same for everyone, but here's what it looked like for me. First, I worked with a provider who understood thyroid health and adjusted my treatment to include T3 because my body wasn't converting T4 the way it needed to. Second, I learned that food mattered more than I realized. I took a food sensitivity test and I was shocked to discover dairy was one of my biggest sensitivities. That was the last thing I expected. Removing foods that didn't agree with my body became one more way to support my overall health. Third, I continued working with my provider on a plan to help lower inflammation. For me, that included microdosing GLP-1, which my body tolerated better, along with other peptide therapies my provider felt were appropriate for my situation. I can't tell you what the right approach is for your body, but I can tell you this. Learning to become an advocate for my own health changed everything, because nobody will ever care more about your health than you. So that's actually why I created a free guide called From Blaming Your Body to Finally Understanding What It's Been Trying to Tell You. You can grab it using the link in the description. I was finally able to stop asking, why is my body doing this to me? And I started asking, what is my body trying to tell me? That one shift changed the way I approached my health forever. My provider said something I'll never forget. Based on my thyroid function at the time, my provider explained why losing weight was going to be much more difficult. I'll never forget hearing those words. Years of blaming myself, years of believing I had failed, years of feeling like a fraud in my own coaching business. And it wasn't about willpower. It was about understanding what my body needed. Looking back now, here's what I wish someone had told me. When something that used to work suddenly stopped working, that isn't proof you've failed. It's information. Your body is giving you clues. Those clues deserve curiosity, they deserve conversations, they deserve investigation and not shame. There has to be a reason, and sometimes finding that reason starts with asking a different question. That single belief changed my life. It moved me from blaming myself to becoming curious. I'm not here because I have all the answers. I'm here because I refuse to stop looking for mine. Maybe your story will look completely different than mine, but if my story helps you feel less alone while you're looking for them, if it helps you ask one more question you didn't know to ask before, then sharing it has been worth it. If you've ever been told your labs are normal, but you still don't feel like yourself, if you spent years feeling like something isn't right, I hope my journey helps you ask better questions, trust yourself a little more, and remember, this isn't just aging. Don't forget, before you leave, make sure you grab your free copy of From Blaming Your Body to Finally Understanding What It's Been Trying to Tell You. Just click the link in the description before you go. If you've ever been looking for answers too, I'd like to invite you to subscribe, because every week I'm going to help you ask better questions, understand what your body may be trying to tell you, and share the lessons I wish I'd learned sooner. If you're looking for answers, I'd love to have you join me. In my next video, I'm sharing the gene mutation my doctor never mentioned and how discovering it completely changed the way I understood inflammation and my health. Because I still believe there has to be a reason.